going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and when I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think, and has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield, something that we didn't know he truly possessed. We saw that in the offseason workouts. Now he's putting his running ability to good use in the NFL.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
But they decided to run it in.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Geno Atkins was back and fully healthy in 2015, and when he's like that, he is hard to move.
And a nice tackle for loss there. 17 of those last year, which was 2nd among all D tackles.
And following in
and now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short.
Illegal touching. Offense.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. 2nd down, they need less than a yard to pick up the 1st. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he's got the AFC leader in receiving yards last year, Antonio Brown.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
fresh set of downs here. Going to give this time to the tailback. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it was almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And now here's a carry heading left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback.
After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Martavis Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. And now out come the Steelers. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He loses 5 full yards to bring up. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come out here in the I. And on the ground they go with a running back. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Dre Kirkpatrick, the cornerback, up to make the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to the...
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Uses the stiff arm. He can run for it, and he will. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And a nifty little deke juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still. Well,
Put away your inhibitions. Let the beast in you just get loose. We